Chelsea 2, Lille 0. Is it game over? Most people would say yes. The likelihood of a team like Chelsea throwing away a 2-0 lead in the second leg, it's unheard of in the Champions League. A brilliant performance, out the traps very quickly from the West Londoners. Kai Havertz absolutely justifying why he started this game instead of Romelu Lukaku. Pulisic with one of his better performances in a Chelsea shirt. N'Golo Kante proving again that he is still one of the very best midfield players in world football. And a clinic tonight at the back. Thiago Silva, still, he's ripe old age, one of the very best centre-backs, not in the Prem, not in Europe, but still in world football. Game's all but over. Chelsea too good for Lille. Hit that like and share button, people. Let's do this.
Absolutely magnificent.
Today's show is sponsored by Fan Team, where you get the chance tonight to join for free the Football Terrace Champions League Challenge. It's free to enter, and there's a chance for you to win a share of the £100 prize fund. Pick a team out of the players from the four teams remaining in the Champions League games tomorrow night. Pick your fantasy football team, pick your formation, and you have the chance of winning a share of £100 with Fan Team in the Football Terrace Champions League Challenge. The password that you will need, the link is in the description below, is TFTUCL. TFTUCL is the password. All of that information is in the description below. But a very good performance tonight for Chelsea. Absolutely no doubt about it. Andrew here says it best. I want to put this comment up there. Professional win. And that is exactly what this was. It was clean and it was professional. Would Chelsea have preferred one more goal? I think they absolutely would. However, and I have to state this, I mean this, I have to scream it Chelsea didn't want to go out there tonight and go all guns blazing. They didn't want to do that. They've got a cup final on Sunday. They got that first goal. They then played in second gear. They got the second goal early in the second half, and they just thought, you know what, that's fine. That is enough. We could have played a bit harder. Maybe that they play harder, run harder. It exposes them at the back. Maybe they concede. Maybe they burn themselves out a little bit too much. They got the job done. Professional win. 2-0 in the first leg is very, very good indeed. And in fairness, if it wasn't for some good defending at times from Lille, it may have been a little bit more. In terms of individual performances, let's absolutely get this right. Kai Havertz has to start as the main number 9. He has to. He is the best number 9 at Chelsea. And it may not be a conventional one. It's more of a false 9 position. But you saw more fluidity, more speed, more togetherness in the attack. Give him a run of 5 to 10 games, and I'm sure he can prove that he is Premier League quality. Coupling that in with these clutch mentality and performances at times, Kai Havertz absolutely justifying his involvement in the team in that position today. Next, I thought Christian Pulisic, much maligned at times, injury problems, never really performing at the consistent standard Chelsea fans would expect. Tonight, sensational. To a man, sensational. N'Golo Kante, standout performance from him. Some of those drives from the middle with the ball, phenomenal. Of course, the main one leading to Christian Pulisic's goal. Still a lot to do from the American. But the Frenchman in the middle there, N'Golo Kante, he just put in a masterclass performance, striving to do back-to-back Champions Leagues. And if he's a main midfield cog in getting that done, you know, suddenly we're going to start talking about maybe, and the conversation's already there, but it's another way to go towards a conversation of one of maybe the best central midfielder in Premier League history in many people's eyes. But just the consistency of the man. The consistency of the man is absolutely astronomical. Thiago Silva. This man ages like the greatest fine wines. This man, he's got Rolls-Royce ability to be able just to cruise through games. But he has that fight and determination. There was a moment in the first half where he got a block on from a corner where He was a little bit scrappy. And he gets the block on, and he rushes out, and he stops the ball from coming in using his head. Sensational. Always in the right place. Always knows where to be. His legs are still there. His reading of the game is impeccable. Thiago Silva is an absolute phenom. Phenom. One of the best centre-backs in the world. So, to some Chelsea fans, maybe the best centre-back in the world. There are some Chelsea fans that still claim better than Van Dijk. Some Chelsea fans claim that. I don't want to shout out Eduardo Mendy because Mendy, he didn't have a great deal to do tonight. A couple of saves, a couple of catches yet to make. But let me say this right now. 14 clean sheets in 18 Champions League games for Chelsea for their goalkeeper Mendy. Let me just repeat that for anybody who wasn't quite listening. 14 clean sheets in 18 Champions League games. It's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. Ridiculous levels. And of course, part of that is the likes of Thiago in front of him. They help, of course they do. But it's still a phenomenal record. Remarkable, in fact. Out of this world. Out of this world. And for me, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I'll state it with chest. I'll say it with authority. Chelsea are through. Game's over. It is game over. There's no way Lille score 3 in France without Chelsea replying. At the very least. It isn't going to happen. They're not good enough. And there's a player tonight I want to speak about in the Lille team, which is the epitome of the problem with modern day football. Renato Sanchez. Arguably their best player. A lot of the technique is there. But where's that ball? Where's that final ball? Where's that end product? He's their best player, and he isn't good enough to break down this Chelsea team. I think Jonathan David, still very, very raw. Got to get himself away from Lille and be around additional quality. But everything else in that Lille team, I thought Botman at the back looked tidy at times. But no one in that side. They might have loads of players that look techie. What they do, they just played the ball in front of Chelsea. They had no ability to penetrate. Unique football, I call it. Unique football. The friend zone. Zero penetration. None. Chelsea are through. Too good. And so far, another amazing statistic for you tonight. And by the way, Chelsea fans, there's about 1,400 of you watching. This stream should already be on 1,000 likes. I don't know what you guys are doing at Ed and me, but smash that like button. Let me tell you this stat as well. For everyone out there, there are some weird people out there that support English teams but don't back the Premier League. Weird. So far, all 3 English clubs, not a goal conceded yet in the knockout stages of the Champions League. United will break that tomorrow night, but so far it just shows the dominance of the English teams in this tournament. Chelsea boy here, man like Ryan over in Jamaica. I hope you're well, brother. He says, professional win, focus towards Sunday's big game. Absolutely. And we've got a brilliant preview show for you coming on that. It's Ram head-to-head with Monster from the Football Terrace studio. It's being filmed on Thursday, so keep your eyes out for that. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing show. Looking forward to getting the boys in. Havertz and Pulisic can't complain. Listen, if Pulisic could stay fit, he'd be a phenomenal player. He's got everything needed to be at the highest level of the game. Kai Havertz, all he needs is a run of games in a set position, I feel, for a young player. Kante and Silva were incredible, both utterly world-class. Jorginho, like Lukaku, has also been dropped. Felt that was the best midfield performance for a while. And it was phenomenal from Chelsea. Absolutely phenomenal from Chelsea in every single which way. And look, there was one decent pass from Renato Sanchez that was cut out, but they never got in behind. They were never able to bully you in the middle. You won the majority of the significant duels. Statistically, you'll find that Lille would have done loads of things, but in the most important spaces and parts of the field, Chelsea dominated everything. Man like Juan CFC says, Terry, Thiago Silva, world class. A's like wine. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more on that, brother. Sell Lukaku and build around Kai, a fast Berbatov. Let me tell you something about Berbatov. Berbatov was no slouch for a player that looks so slow. I think Kaya's got so much talent. I feel a little sorry for. Look, I think he's. I've got to be very careful how I say this. I think overall, as a football player, he is better than Lukaku. I think he is. I think what Chelsea actually need is they need their Firmino. I think their man through the middle doesn't necessarily need to be a prolific goal scorer as long as he can link the play up. Because I think if you had a striker doing that, the Hakim Ziyech's, the Pulisic, the Hudson-Odois would start to score more goals. Maybe it's inside forwards is the area that Chelsea go for instead and build around, a £73 million player in Kai who has got all the ability in the world. This Renato Sanchez is worth a big move to a top club. Hell, we lose Pogba. I'd want him and a DM. Really, you'd want Renato Sanchez to replace Paul Pogba. That is a bold, bold statement. I remember Man United fans wanted Bruno sold a year ago and Ndombele to replace him. Don't let the techers fool you. Where's the end product? End product is the. Do you want to know the thing today? Look at the Chelsea players today. N'Golo Kante, end product in what he needs to deliver. THIAGO Silva, end product. Mendy, end product. End product, end product, end product, end product. Techers are great, but if there's no end product at the end of it, what's the point? It's pointless. Prime here says Kante, what he brings to the team is so valuable. He's one of a kind, so important for his team. He's just magnificent, plays his role and position to perfection. He does. And look, it's one of those roles where Chelsea have to look to replace him because there will come a time where he can't do it anymore. But he's a very difficult player to replace because it's almost impossible to find anybody better than him. So Man United went through this with Paul Scholes. Because of how he controlled midfield, there was nobody that we could find that was attainable that was going to come in and be better than him. But then sometimes what that can stop, where Man United got it wrong is you weren't developing anybody in his stead. So when he actually had to retire, we were left with this huge gaping hole. That's the one that is so hard to get right, and Chelsea have got a job on their hands to do that. Now we're going to start taking your calls, people. The link is inside our description below, so make sure you're refreshing that. As I said at the top of the stream, we're sponsored tonight by Fan Team. You can join the Football Terrace Champions League Challenge. Password to enter my mini league is TFTUCL. All the information's in our description. Refresh it if you can't see it. Pick a team from the players playing tomorrow night with your chance of winning a share of the £100 prize. It's free to enter, free to play. You've got to register with Fan Team, but go and get that done at the end of the show. I want to hear from you, though, people. Get yourselves calling in. First up with me tonight is going to be none other than Matt, all the way from down under. Looking forward to speaking to him. Hit that like and that share button, people. Let's do it. I've lost where I am. Here we go. Let's do it, people. Let's go. How you doing, bro? Welcome back to the Terrace. What do you want to say?
N'Golo Kante. I mean, that man's an absolute magician, Terry. Sorry for my voice as well, guys. I'm a bit sick, so do not roast me in the comments or that. Block nose here, so do not be talking like that. But no, it's a great performance we had today. I mean, THIAGO Silva, as you said, he's aging like fine wine. Unbelievable player again. And another one like that who's getting not named enough is Rudiger. I think Rudiger had another fantastic game. So I think the whole team in general had a good game. Like there wasn't a bad performance from anyone in kind of in sync. Like the only player I could say who didn't have a great performance was Alonso. But sorry.
Yep. No, go for it, mate. Keep going.
Oh, sorry, no, my Siri just popped up. No, but Alonso was probably the only one who didn't have a decent performance. But that's just the usual aspect of that. Now, the only thing I'm worried about is what's going to happen with this front line. Like we're not keeping a consistent role, but now showing that Pulisic has scored, Havertz has scored. What are we going to do with this front three? Does Lukaku even make the starting? Does he even make the bench at this time anymore? Like I'm looking more in the future because I think this game was fantastic. I think there's not much to speak on the negativities, but it's more to look at the future and what's going to happen now for our front three because this game really showed that Pulisic can start in the starting 11 again. Havertz is back to his form. He's back to his, how he plays good for half a season. He's now coming back to that form. Now Ziyech is obviously so consistent. Like he's probably our best attacker right now, but he's now injured. So what's going to happen with our front three? I'm not too sure. I'm a bit worried actually because I think it's still all over the place. But take away this game, it's fantastic performance to see. Pulisic, when he's not injured, he's a fantastic player, and every Chelsea fan knows that. And I've been saying this throughout the week that I would only sell Pulisic if he keeps getting injured like that because I'm not a big fan of these injury-prone players. But I'm begging. He stays consistent like this, like Ziyech did. Unfortunately, Ziyech picked up an injury. Hopefully, it's not that bad. But our players are good when they're not getting injured, and they've shown that throughout this season. Like we've just seen Ziyech being consistent because he hasn't got injured. Now Pulisic is being quite consistent because he hasn't got injured. Havertz, the same thing. So hopefully we can keep seeing this from our other players. But overall, it was a fantastic game. We destroyed them like tactically.
Yeah, no, you did. You were just far too much for them, in every single which way. It wasn't even really competitive. They passed and moved the ball. Like eye test merchants would have loved watching Lille tonight because there was loads of tidy twists and turns and passing, but there was just zero penetration. Chelsea were just far too good. Far too powerful, far too quick, and you get that 2-0 win. You can focus on the final now, and then just play this second leg, play it professionally, get an early goal in that game, put it to bed, and see yourselves comfortably into that quarterfinal.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think they don't stand a chance pretty much against us. As you said, like the eye merchants would have loved Lille because Lille had some like decent moments, but they had no one who could finish. Like they didn't have any finisher. You said Sanchez, like Sanchez was fantastic. He created so much, but who was there to finish it? Like he did his part, but then unfortunately there was no one there. So I think Lille put their best fight up. Unfortunately, they're not as good as us, but they did do decent. But I don't see them even scoring in the second leg. I think we've comfortably got this, and we're on to the quarterfinals for sure. But again, this is football. This is Champions League. Like it can go any way.
I hear you on that. Yeah, you've got to be on it. You've got to be at them. But I think you'll be absolutely fine. My brother, thank you very much for coming on, Matt, and having your say. I appreciate it, bro. Take care.
Take care, Terry. Take care, chat.
Feel better soon. Take care. Thank you. Viewers, make sure you're smashing like buttons. Make sure you're sharing this stream across your social media platforms. TUCL's Army is on with me next. Ahmed is here. Welcome back to the Terrace, my friend. What do you want to say?
Yeah, bro. Thanks for having me, man. It was good last time. But Tuesdays, Champions League. A lot of teams can't say that. But, it was good today. It was good to watch like a good free-flowing football in the first half. I mean, second half, we dropped off a bit. I mean, you have to take things into context. Like our wing backs are not there. We played three at the back. I never thought we were going to be persistent with three at the back. When Tuchel started playing that 4-2-2-2, I thought we were going to carry on doing the 4-2-2-2. But he didn't. I mean, he's gone to the back three. Alonso was good today. But this is the thing, though. In Champions League football, not all teams are sitting back. Everyone's all, trying to press us and stuff. And we do turn up for Champions League games, but honourable mentions, N'Golo Kante. I know the caller said when they call up, they were singing his, what a player. Magnificent. He's an elite player. Honourable Kai Havertz. I don't want to see Lukaku again. I'll be very honest. I don't want to see Lukaku play again. I know he's going to probably... Yeah, I don't want to see him play again because he doesn't want to run. Kai Havertz, he's bombing on, he's running, he's pressing. We want to be pressing from the get-go, and I feel like he probably will play in the cup final. We probably will lose in the cup final against Liverpool on Sunday. But other than that, I feel like we played... we did play well in the first half, but I wanted more goals today, but I feel like this game is wrapped up. But other than that, yeah, it was good to see us play good, after a long time.
I hear you on that. Far more fluidity, especially in that opening 15, 20 minutes. And look, I see a few Chelsea fans tweeting, why don't we maintain that? I'm like, listen, you maintain that pace, you'll hit 60 minutes in the game and you'll die. You can't do that. You have to be a little bit sensible in those regards, but it definitely is the best overall performance I've seen from Chelsea in a number of weeks, where you look solid at the back. They weren't because even in the World Club Championships, you were still being opened up at times. Teams were creating opportunities, and you didn't do that at all today. So it was a much, much better performance. And the Lukaku thing's interesting because we all know in reality he's going to get game time still this year. But every time I see Chelsea play without him, I just see a better football inside.
Yeah, that's honestly, we're more free flowing. We're more, playing. It's as if we have a style of play without him. It's so funny to say because on Saturday, I was watching the whole game. We didn't really play anything. Like it was a diet game. It was so shambolic. So when he started, when he didn't start today, I thought he would start today because we were gonna kind of maybe get some goals here because it would be more free flowing. But he didn't start him, and then we played well without him. So does Tuchel bring it? Well, Tuchel has no choice. He's probably going to have to bring him back because his job is on the line if he doesn't. Because he brought him in. He's 100 million. He's not 20 million. But yeah, we'll see how it goes on Saturday. But today was a good win. 2-0. Can't complain.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying there, my friend. Thank you very, very much indeed for coming
Terry.
on. Great call, buddy. Thank you.
Top man.
Cheers,
Thank
mate.
you.
I'm being a little bit preoccupied. I keep seeing trending that reportedly Queen Elizabeth has passed away. Reports. I've seen nothing from Sky News, nothing from the BBC as it stands right now. So I'm not, I normally wouldn't talk about something that isn't football related, but I see it everywhere. And I'd say stop. There's no confirmation of it at all. So it's not something I'm going to spread or share until I've not seen a single credible source mention it, if that makes sense. So yeah, like from my point of view, like I'm gonna keep my powder dry on that one. Let's do some more of your calls though. Next on the show, I'm gonna be getting Hassan. Hassan is on here to have his say with us on the Football Terrace. The link's in our description below. If you want to phone in, give us your thoughts on tonight's game. The lines are open now. What you saying, buddy?
Hello, can you hear me?
Perfect, my friend. What do you want to say?
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, Terry. But I felt like today, like after the first goal, right? I just think that we just sat back and clicked into second gear for a while and just allowed them to hit us, and we hit them on a break. Overall, it's just a professional performance, really, and I really think that I'm just glad that we got this out of the way. My only worry is Kovacic and Ziyech. What's the extent of their injuries? Because we do have a cup final in a few days, and it's going to be worrying because they're basically two of our main players, and it's just frustrating, really, Terry. Like every time Ziyech, you've even seen him yourself. Every time he plays, he literally gets injured. Whenever he's on fire, like the last time he got injured was when he was on a run and he scored that goal again in the Super Cup, was it? And yeah, it's just frustrating, man. And yeah, I was just gonna quickly say it's a professional performance, and so it's just on to the next game, really.
Yeah, listen, I hear you on the sitting back thing. I think the one thing I would be concerned about tonight as a Chelsea fan is Ziyech and Kovacic. They both looked to have picked up knocks in this game, and Ziyech has just started to cook. He's just started to play football to a very good level and a consistent level at Chelsea, and losing him ahead of this big game with Liverpool on Sunday.
And he consistently gets injured. That's the problem. Every time when he's on this run, he always gets injured.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I do hear you on that, my friend. I do. Great call, though, mate. Thank you very much for coming on and having your say. I really appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much indeed. A few people are asking for the link. I'll put it in the live comment section again. It is in our description. Just scroll down a bit. You'll see the words call in now. Use this link. If you can't see it, maybe just refresh the stream. It should be there. Terry, how much would you figure Chelsea make back if they sell Lukaku this summer? That is a very good question indeed. And there's a tweet here from Rebecca, a colleague of mine at Snack Media, who says here, just a tweet asking a question, saying Chelsea look better without Lukaku. And to your point, how much do they make back? Right now, I think you make about £60 million. That would be what you could probably sell him for to the right club. There's going to be a £30-40 million loss in the arbitrary net spend argument, but net spend doesn't exist in those terms, because if you lose £40 million in terms of what you bought him for and what you sold him for, but it makes your team better and you score more goals and you win more, you're going to make more. So if you end up winning the league after you sell him, the prize money and the additional sponsorship money you get from winning that tournament makes up for the money that you're losing. That's why net spend isn't real. Another reason why it's not real. But in terms of the actual sum you'll probably command, 60, maybe 70 million, because for the right club, he'll score goals. Remember, You know, if AC Milan want him, Juve have just bought Vlahovic, so they're not going to. He'll score goals there. He'll score goals in Germany. Just the Premier League, the top clubs against low blocks, bang average. Next on the show, we're going to be getting Rio on the show in a minute. Neto's Army will be on soon as well, but Zion will be with us next on the Football Terrace. Juve 1-1 tonight. Was that the final score? I did watch the first half. I didn't watch the second, mainly because it's just difficult to. And I feel a little bit honoured tonight as well as a non as a non Chelsea fan. Obviously, I said something on the show, and I want a big shout out to the Twitter account Absolute Chelsea for being so kind as to share my tweet and quote me in there. So thank you very much indeed. If you're not following my Twitter account, that is it there at Terry Flewers. Go give that a follow now, my people, if you would be so kind. But Zion is now with us on the show to have his say. Welcome back to the Terrace, mate. Give me your thoughts on tonight's game performance and the big question: should Lukaku get back in your team?
To be honest with you, Terry, it was a professional performance. Let's be real. I mean, it was a game that everyone expected us to win because we were coming into that game as favourites, and to come out that quick and like the way that we came out, I think you just showed it clearly that Tuchel's decision to drop Lukaku, worked out completely. Without Lukaku, we have that free-flowing football. Attack, can get the passes in between. And, Havertz was so smart with his runs today, in between the defenders, the fullbacks. And he was doing what Lukaku should be doing in the team. You know what I mean? Okay, Havertz has got, the mobility in Lukaku, but Lukaku isn't slow. You can't say that he's like one of those Peter Crouch type players where he'll just stand in the box and just do his thing and just head the ball in. He's got mobility, but Havertz just showed, that, with Ziyech, with Pulisic, when you got, speedy players, behind him, he can do something. And, he was very clever with his runs today. And I think it was Tuchel's right decision. And I wanted him to make this decision to drop Lukaku because I wanted to see how the team played. And they played, really well. And, even you saw it, like in the first 21 minutes, we dominated that game. Yeah. Lille, they pressed us from the back. We still, overtook it and then just, got the ball fluidly, from our fullbacks to our wingers to Havertz. There was that connection. Lukaku, you saw that game against Palace. There was no cohesion. Lukaku's there running in the box. Should he, get the ball, demanding the ball? I know you wanted the ball, but you got to do something with it. When you get the ball, do something. Havertz was doing something with the ball.
Mate, I absolutely agree. Question for you. Should he start or even play against Liverpool Sunday? Do you think he will hinder your chances of winning? What's your take, my friend?
I wouldn't start him. To be honest with you, I would not start him. You saw him against Liverpool earlier in the season. He did absolutely nothing. He got bodied by Joel Matip. So, in my opinion, I don't think he should start that game. And, for now, I think keeping him on the bench, will show not only to him that, you haven't been performing. You've been given chances, but where's the performances? It's not like he hasn't been given the chances. And I don't think this is, Tuchel made a statement not only to the Chelsea fans, but to Lukaku, but also the board. The board, in my opinion, are demanding Tuchel, in my opinion, to start him, because of they brought him for so much money. They want him to do well. But if the player's not invested in the style of play, isn't invested in the team, what else can the manager do? And I think he made a right decision of dropping him. And, as much as people say that we don't play to Lukaku's strengths, yeah, we don't. But he has to adapt. He's a top quality player, let's be real. His stats are out of this world. As a striker, you should adapt to whatever system you play, you go in. So I know at Inter he was playing that counter-attacking football with two strikers up front. But, you knew when you were coming to... Remember, he forced this move from Inter to Chelsea. It's not like he was, that we were, begging him to come back. He wanted to leave Inter to come to Chelsea and, prove himself. So, I'm sorry, I wouldn't start him against Liverpool because it just, you saw the free-flowing attack we had today. I think Liverpool fans will be more scared of the attack that we had today than having Lukaku up front. Because if you think about it, Liverpool will then focus on that one focal point, and that would be Lukaku. You shut him down, Chelsea can't do anything.
Yeah, you stick Fabinho on him and take him out of the game. You're basically
There you
down
go,
to 10
yep.
men from the start of the match. And now listen, I think it's a great point being raised there. Zion, absolute brilliant call, my friend. Thanks for coming on the terrace tonight
Cheers,
and having your say. Really appreciate it. Top man. Thank you. CFC Beast, Twitter's famous CFC Beast is with us next on the Football Terrace. I've got a few super chats first. First one here says from Canyon, says, give Christiansen what he wants. The Danish Maldini is what Canyon says there. Theo says, also, Terry, name your starting 3 or 4 forwards for Chelsea. Tuchel clearly isn't certain. When everybody's fit, I would go with it's hard, you know. I'd create an attacking 4 out of Mount, Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech, Havertz. If he goes for a 3 up top, then I'd go Pulis, then I'd go Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech on the right, and Kai through the middle. That's what I would do. Prime here says, no game is easy or a given. You have to earn your right to win a game. Chelsea put in a workmanlike performance and got the job done. So Chelsea fans ignore the trolls. Yeah, look, you're absolutely right. No game is a given. Chelsea had to work hard for tonight. They have to work hard in they'll have to work hard in France as well. But they will be too good for them. They will be too powerful for them. They will win. CFC Beast is here with me now. What you saying, brother?
I'm good. You good, Terry?
I'm very well, my friend. What's your take on the overall performance tonight? Mendy's clean sheet record. THIAGO at the back's a magician. And I do want to get your take on the Lukaku situation as well, please, brother.
Well, Thiago Silva was Thiago Silva. Like today he showed me again why, for me, on form, he's the best centre back in the league, in the Prem. He's been doing this whole season, despite how we've been drawing games to Burnley's and Everton's and these kind of things. He's been consistently good, and he's been consistently a leader in this team. And today he showed it again. Like, he didn't even have to run. Like, the way he was defending, blocking shots, interceptions, it was like I just wish he was young, man. I wish we had this guy when he was younger, because you see him now and you're just like, this guy's 37 years of age. Not even 36, he's 36. 36 years. He playing like, I don't know, like, such a good centre-back. Mendy, clean sheet, normal. It should be normal. Has it been over the past few weeks? But I think it should come back to formality. 2 clean sheets in 2 games, man. In terms of talking about the attack, and obviously Lukaku got benched today. Well, I feel like we saw the clear difference, man. I feel like apparently, I think Matt Law tweeted, or someone else, I can't remember, maybe like Simon Phillips or someone like that. Like, Havertz scored with the 8th touch of the game. Shows you everything you need to know. Like, he was dropping deep
with his 8th touch of the game. Yeah.
He was dropping deep, helping out play. He was getting in behind, finding pockets of space to run into, to collect the ball, making runs. Obviously, he scored that header, which was it was a very, very good header. And obviously, he had 2 other shots. He had 1 shot which was a poor miss. I will say that. Like, I have looked at it back and saw the ball was bobbling, but I do still think he can get that on target at the very least. And and obviously the second shot where he cut in and then he shot from outside of the box and the keeper saved it. But I think he had an overall great game. I do think people are a bit overrating it though. I don't like the way people are trying to gas it too much, but I do think it was a very good performance from him. But what I will say though is I'm very upset with Ziyech and Cover, both out injured for a cup final that we have on Saturday. I know Chelsea fans don't want to hear this, but I'm not confident, Terry. I'll be real, because I don't like the way stuff are shaping up. Ziyech has been in very good form as of recent. Yeah. He's been saving us in a few games, and when a player like that is playing well, that's the last player you want to get injured in this moment in time. And when our attack isn't great already, I just don't know what it's going to be, and I don't like the way it's shaping up. I don't.
Mate, it's going to be an interesting one to see how it works. And I mean, the Ziyech's injury looked, I wouldn't say it looked terrible or really bad, but it definitely looks like he might be out for more than a week.
Yeah.
See what happens there, mate. Yeah, it's going to be definitely intriguing to see what happens. And I want to ask you a question. So, because a few people in the comment sections have asked this, so I'm going to ask it on their behalf. Do you think Thiago Silva is better than Van Dijk?
Well, right now,
Yeah.
based on this season,
No, just right now, like and a combination of the two.
a combination of the two. Well, if I'm doing it based on this season, it has to be Thiago Silva. If I'm doing it overall, I don't know if I can say that would be real. Like Van Dijk still has I don't know. It's a very difficult question. It depends what you want. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like it depends how you're playing. Like Van Dijk is a very, 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 very good centre back, but I feel like Thiago Silva is one of them centre backs where it's like if you put him next, you can play next to anyone, he'll make them look better. So I don't know. Right now I'm taking Thiago Silva because Van Dijk's can.
Oh, his internet cut off again. He did that last time. He didn't hang up there. Appreciate you coming on, mate, and having your say. I really, really do. I'm gonna put that as the poll right now. I'm gonna run that as a poll right now. I'm gonna write the words. I'm gonna careful how I write this right now. Who is the better? CFC Beast is back. He's back. He didn't hang up. He's back. He's back.
Yeah. I accidentally swiped. Yeah, I'm sorry. No. But yeah, I take Thiago Silva. I take Thiago Silva right now. He's performing better and he's doing better for our team. Look at what he's doing. So
there we go. We're going to run a poll on that as well, and we'll see what people have got to say in the poll. Beast, top man for coming on, mate, and having your say. And I'll speak to you soon. Cheers,
speak to you soon, Terry. Thank you
very much indeed. Right now, who is the better centre back, Thiago Silva or VVD? So that's been shared in the live comment section now. If you can't see it, just refresh your stream and it will come up, no doubt. We're going to run this poll on Twitter as well. Let me just put these tags in. I want to see by the end of the show, who do we think is going to be winning? I don't know, I think Van Dijk will win the vote. I think most people will pick Van Dijk, but I think Thiago Silva has been absolutely phenomenal. And statistically, I want to show you this as well. Let me show you a little something. All right, let me just copy that link, paste in here. Sorry, it's taking me a little bit of time to do it all myself. It's up on the screen, so you can see it's going to load. Thiago Silva tonight, nearly a 90% passing accuracy, 96 touches, the most in the team. 12 ball recoveries, the most, 6 clearances, 5 aerial duels contested, 4 of them won, both the most, 2 shots blocks, 1 tackle, 1 interception, and what they've said is a titan at the back. And that's probably a bit, I should have done it that way around, clicked on the picture, it looks a little bit better. That is colossal there. That is absolutely colossal from Thiago Silva. It really, really is. Now, Cal Netu's Army, aka Liverpool Fan TV, is joining us next on the terrace. What are you here to say?
Yeah, big up Terry, man. What are you saying, bro? You good?
I'm very good, my friend. What have you come on the terrace to say tonight, buddy?
I came up to congratulate Chelsea, man. They good performance. You can't really hate on them. You know what I'm trying to say? They beat a friend. They beat Lille. They did what they had to do. And congratulations on making it to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. There's not much more to say. I think the tie is nearly done. I don't see Lille, whatever you said was spot on. All these aesthetic merchants will say, wow, they played good. They didn't create a chance the whole game. But so, then they well played by Chelsea. Thiago Silva, I rate him highly. But it's very funny when you're using VVD as a measuring stick. That should just tell you who's a better centre back, in my opinion. But we move. Kovacic.
What's that noise? Is your mic rubbing on something, bro?
Probably is.
Jesus Christ, that's so noisy. Right, there we go. You laying in bed with your mic or something? What are you doing, brother?
No, I'm back. Sorry, my mic. Is it good now?
Now it's better. Jeez, now we go.
Thank God. The Kovacic and Ziyech thing now. That's very interesting now. Ziyech has been the best attacker for the past month, in my opinion. Kovacic is always a midfield. He always turns up in big games. I think those two injuries will swing it. I think it was a 60-40 to Liverpool. Now I'm going with a 75-25 to Liverpool now. I think if them two are injured, I think we win the Carabao Cup. And yeah, man, I think that's going to push us on to win a few more trophies this season, hopefully.
I hear you on that, bro. Listen, top man, thanks for coming on and having your say, and we'll speak to you again soon. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Yeah, I've just seen this tweet here from someone actually says, Kai Havertz paid tribute to Lukaku's 7 touches by missing those chances and scored with his 8th touch. Class act. So yeah, I see that trending in a lot of places that Kai Havertz scored with his 8th touch of the game tonight. Sometimes football is like the best script ever. Do you get what I mean? You get the best script ever. In terms of the poll right now, get across to Twitter when you can. SILVA winning the poll on Twitter as it stands right now with 57% of the vote. Here on YouTube, 77% of the vote is with THIAGO Silva. Nav here says he's got them Samsung Galaxy headphones. Yeah, do you know what it is? Some people don't realize, like, some people come on, they have the old iPhone earphones in, and like the thing rubs on their shirt, and I'm like, sometimes I say to them, you don't realize how loud that is. Like, it's crazy loud. Like when I used to record on the street, having them, I used to like pull the mic right out so it didn't rub. You think that Apple would invent the mic so that it was like so you couldn't ruffle it up, and it was kind of resistant to that. But there we go. I suppose I don't make them for people making YouTube content, do they? But there we go. SS here says Klopp said VVD was looking scared. Look, I think Van Dijk's amazing. It's really hard to tell the difference between the one thing is Van Dijk's got age on his side. The thing is, Thiago Silva has been at this level for what, 10, 15 years, and like he is just his career, what he has won, what he has achieved. I'm really annoyed that he was in Paris Saint-Germain so long. He's a player that should have been in the Premier League for a lot longer than he was. Yeah, really should have been in the Premier League a lot longer than he has been. Although we are going to get at least one more year. Only Chelsea fans would take a 37-year-old Thiago Silva who can't play every game over prime Virgil, is what he said there. How can Chelsea fans honestly take Silva on current form? VVD is back to his 2019-2020 best, is what Nixter's got to say here. Anthony Bishop says good analysis. I think he's talking about the previous caller, not me. I will pass that respect on. Manlight Sarim says, I think VVD is better, but my God, Thiago is a monster. And I think that's what's really important here. You might prefer Thiago Silva. You might prefer Van Dijk, but both are absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. And when I think about how much we paid for Maguire, there's no... And do you know what Thiago Silva and Van Dijk do, which Varane doesn't at Man United? They're also orchestrators and leaders. They make everybody else around them better. I think that you'd see better Van Dijks, and if you stuck Thiago Silva or Van Dijk next to Maguire, you'd see a top-class Maguire. Varane, we know how good he is, but I still think he needs an orchestrator and a leader in the defense with him, which we're lacking. And by the way, he doesn't know who I am, but if he hears, he might disagree. I think Rio Ferdinand needed a leader. I think Rio Ferdinand was arguably the best defender ever in the Premier League, but I think he needed a leader next to him. Where I think John Terry, his leadership skills were better than Rio Ferdinand, but Rio Ferdinand had more to his overall game as a footballer, passing, play. Obviously, he had the speed to his game, both impeccable defensively. But, things weigh each other up. But there we go. Let's have a little look at some more. Harry Kane. Yes, you're a king. Okay, fair enough. I don't know what that's about, but that's just stood out to me and I saw it. Paul here says, Terry, I'm happy. Man, today, one of my kids Terry, I am happy, man. Today, one of my kids have been selected for the European Championships in Bulgaria, as he has won the Youth National Championships. I'm buzzing. Well, massive congratulations to your son. Your kid. Very, very happy for your child and for you. Great achievement, Paul. Well done, you. Alex is going to be on the show with us now. Redneck Alex, we've got Fatur to come on the show as well. Alex, what you saying, brother? How are you?
Big up, man. Big up. Debate against Silva versus VDV. This year, Silva. This year, Silva, I think. But overall, in Premier League, there's just no comparison. VDV is done it for longer. But in just this year, I don't think VDV is actually best center back at Liverpool. I think the other guy was doing the bits in the beginning too. So I don't think he came back as the same after injury. But like we're saying, at the end of the injury, give him another year to get that fearness out of the head, because I think it's more about mental passage. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's still in the back of his head. The memory still has it. So I think that's what he does it at the moment. But as soon as he passes it, he'll be good again. But that's about it.
Yeah, I hear you on that. In terms of yourself tonight, no Jennifer, no Statue of Liberty. How happy were you as a Chelsea fan?
Well, there was definitely more movement. Let's say it that way. There's a lot of more movement in the in the midfield. There is more movement up top. There was better pressing. There was better communications. But we still have a donkeys in the team like Alonso. Like for the past first half, Tuchel was literally screaming his head off at Alonso for being constantly in the wrong position. Like he get cut all the time and in the wrong position. Aspilicueta did good actually today, but that's a European competition. It's a slower game. The Premier League is the one that actually will struggle because the pace of the game is a lot quicker. And you can tell by the second half all of a sudden the game started to be a little more quicker, so we had to make adjustments by changing the midfield and stuff like that. So it was a good performance. If you like, there was like, I don't know what Tuchel is thinking. Like if he said that the fatigue on Lukaku, he needed rest because of fatigue. I'm sorry, I didn't know that 7 touches made them overly exhausted. And a week ago, there's no fatigue in there. Like, and the Jorginho fatigue, the guy didn't play for the past 2 weeks. So what is he fatiguing about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Lukaku and Jennifer, they can both go fatiguing themselves out of the club. If you know what I'm saying.
I hear what you're saying there, my friend. Big debate tonight about who should start in the position of Lukaku. Are you convinced by Kai Havertz? Do you think he should get a prolonged run in the team now?
I always said for me, Kai Havertz is the 9. He doesn't know yet, but he's a 9. He's a proper 9, and lately he's been playing as a 9. He still has those. How you said, he was never taught how to be a 9, so people are assuming that he's like a false 9. He plays. I think it's a new role for him. I think he's gonna become a proper 9, but he still has tendency to switch back and think like a midfielder, like a 10. So when the moment that he stops thinking like a 10 or whatever, the close to the striker he is, and think like a striker, and thinking like 1-2 touches and shoot, 1-2 touches and shoot, he will be a proper number 9, I think. And I said it when he came after the last season. Actually, I think he will push it. That's my personal thinking. I'll probably get wrong, but hey,
listen, I think he's got all the makings of. I think. He's different in terms of how he plays, but I think he could be as important for Chelsea in that role as Firmino was for 3 or 4 years for Liverpool, where he wasn't the prolific goal scorer in that position, but he was almost the glue that held the attack together. And, you know, he could really bring Pulisic and Ziyech and Mount and Callum Hudson-Odoi into the game. You just seem to look so much more fluid, so much more together. And yes, you couldn't play at that opening pace at the start of the game. If you'd have played like that for another 20, 30 minutes, you'd have burned yourselves out. But I thought overall things look so much better in that way, shape, and form. And it's just the movement, and it's breaking. You know, there was breaking your balls to get onto the end of things, and he should have had a hat trick in the opening 20.
Yeah, minutes. In the 20 minutes, he should like the moment that Aspilicueta crossed the ball into the box. To be fair, to not excuse him for not making that shot, the ball did bounce in front of his foot, so it's kind of hard to adjust when you try to reach for the ball. But the other one, when he was left-footed, that was a good save from the goalkeeper. It was comfortable on the height for the good keeper to save, but the angle was actually decent for him, and he did he did good by taking a shot over there. The guy actually holds a ball better than Lukaku. He literally, with the center backs in his back, he holds better than Lukaku. And I think it's a big how you say it, underestimation. Can I say it in English? Like underestimating how good he is by actually holding the ball, how skinny he is. He reminds me a little bit of Barbatov. You know, the laziness approach.
He has got that Berbatov feel to him. He has got that Berbatov feel.
Like when he runs, like he doesn't give a crap what's going on around him. You know, like but it's a moment of brilliance. Like I was so jealous when Barbatov went to United. The way he kind of like he was so casual when he drifts into the middle, and then when he gets explosive in the box, it's it. That's what I think Kai Havertz can become. But you never know. He's a left-footed player, so
he could certainly do that, my friend. He really, really could. Alex, top man for coming on the show and having your say tonight, brother. And we'll speak at the weekend, no doubt. See you soon, Alex. Cheers, mate.
Hair looks good. For God's sake.
It's getting there, my friend. Cheers, brother.
It is.
Thank you. Yeah, that's kind of the shape of it now. It's just got to thicken out now, and it will thicken out over the next 5-6 months. Fatul's on the show with us next. Super chat first from Sasko, who says TT needs to take risks sometimes. We play much better with 3 midfielders. I reckon he got rid of the back 3. We have players and the personnel to do so. I think he's taking risks against the right team, my friend. And that change at the beginning of the second half, bringing on Saunaguez, packing out the midfield, it worked. Also near the beginning, like was 5-10 minutes in, it worked straight away. You just changed the shape. It was like changing of the shape slightly. Bang, come alive again, got the goal, put the game to bed. Simple and straightforward as that. Fatul's on the show with us now. What are you saying, brother?
Yeah, you all good, Terry?
I can't complain, mate. How was the game?
It was breathless, Terry. It was breathless attack for me, and I think that this is far better performance than the ultra safe defense and non-existent attack when we face against Palace. I think against Palace we had 63 of the ball in the first half, then conceded in the first half like 3 shots, and then. But if you want to compare it to the one against Lille, I think we had 53% total and only conceded 9 shots. I think at our high tempo and with the more that quicker passing, our attack was far more threatening. But I just feel that when you got coverage in Kante, I think if people might this might sound crazy to so many people, but I can see in that most of the part of that game, I can sense that we're a little bit playing the Lampard ball, in my opinion, because I just think that in that midfield alone, Kovacic and Kante pressing aggressively, but there's a but here. But the problem is that we left the gap in the midfield way too much open, and as a result, I think we lost the ball multiple times and let Renato Sanchez and Jonathan David go through to our defense, and it could have gone horribly wrong, but I think we nullified that pretty well in that second half. I just think it's just a matter of professional performance, but I just think we just missed Jorginho a little bit. That controlling that tempo in that first half. But we'll see on Sunday. I think TFTUCL might save him for the League Cup final, in my opinion. But
yeah, I'm very excited about the final. If I'm being honest, I'm not involved. I'm really intrigued to see who's going to go. I'm actually intrigued to see what the losers say as well around. Does the trophy mean anything or not? Just very intrigued, my friend. Fatur, I appreciate all your support you give the channel, mate, and we'll speak again soon.
Yeah, in a bit.
Cheers, mate. Take care. Thank you. Now, there's a really good YouTube channel out there. Of course, it's called Man Knows Football, right? Really, really good stuff. He's backstage. He come backstage of his own accord. Really happy to have him here. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, man, I'm all good, bro. I just thought I'd have to just show my face and show some love for the first time, Terry. Good to be here on your show, my guy.
I appreciate it, mate. And yeah, big up, good things you're doing there on the road to 10K. I watched one of your shows with Lee Gunner not recently. So yeah, big up, man. Doing great stuff over there.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you. Obviously, I just came in today to just have my little 2 pence about the game. Just give you a quick 5-minute sum up of my thoughts, my bro.
Yeah, go for it, my friend.
Well, to be honest, going into this game, I was a little bit concerned about, especially what we saw against Crystal Palace. There was obviously the concern of Romelu Lukaku starting this game today, and he didn't start the game, and I felt that we looked a lot more fluid. Seeing Kai Havertz in his natural position playing that false 9 role, I believe that's his best role in that system. I believe Pulisic as well flourished playing in his natural position. Unfortunate to see Ziyech and not Pulisic, sorry, and Kovacic get an injury today. That could be a blow for the final on Sunday. But aside from that, I think everybody really chipped into there and had a good performance. The weakest performer for me today was Marcus Alonso, but it was more down to things that we knew to expect from him in terms of players getting in behind him. We know that he hasn't got the most pace, but you see the saving grace behind that is that centre-back trio that can cover him there. In particular, Thiago Silva, Rudiger, those guys, they know that he's going to get beat. They're there to cover. And I say that to say this. You see Thiago Silva, I'm actually going to put my neck on the line on your channel. I believe he's the best centre-back in the world, mate. Right now, honestly. Wow. I believe he's that guy on current form. The way this guy reads the game is different. You can't buy that experience, and he's been showing it. He shouldn't be doing the things he's doing at 37 years old. That's my honest opinion, bro.
You know what it is? He is absolutely top quality. I find it. I think going to Paris Saint-Germain, I don't want to use the words as tainted his career, but I don't think anybody takes what you do at Paris Saint-Germain seriously. I think people ignore it. If he would have stayed in Italy, gone to Spain, come to England when he went PSG, he's been at this level for such a long time. He hasn't regressed in his what is he, 37 years old now? And week in, week out, he's putting in top-class performances. I don't think there's anything disrespectful to Van Dijk to claim that Thiago Silva is overall a better centre-back than him. And we're talking marginal here.
Yeah, that's it.
It's crazy. It's something where it's almost. I mean, some Liverpool fans are getting very upset about it, but you're talking about one of the most consistent centre backs in Europe over the last 15 years.
Exactly.
The geezer is an absolute colossus. He's a
and
colossus.
Then when you say things like, you're of the opinion that Thiago Silva is the better centre back, that doesn't mean that Van Dijk isn't a world class, top quality centre back. That's not what we're trying to say. I just think that it's like you said, the differences are marginal here. Can Van Dijk perhaps get there later on in his career? I think he's definitely one. He has the ability to, definitely. But it's just like you were saying, just been so long in the game, 15 or so years of that consistency. Even at AC Milan, the guy was a beast. He was an absolute monster there at AC Milan. Carried on that form at PSG. Everyone had doubts when he was going to come into the Premier League. Oh, he's a bit old. Is he going to keep up with the pace of the Premier League? Is his body going to break down? And he's just destroyed all the critics. And he's just come through and look at what he's done with the team. It's no surprise that when he came in to this squad, defensively as a unit, we got better. I personally believe, even from like a coaching standpoint, Thiago does contribute. In terms of his communication on the field and just leading his back line and teaching the younger players to understand his value to the club is completely it's invaluable. We can't lose him. If he retires, we have to retain him as a coach, because to me, that's a generational type of defender we're talking about, 100%.
Mate, I hear you on that completely, my bro. Really good points being made there. Definitely got to get you back on the show soon, mate. I'll drop you a DM and let's have a chat. But keep doing what you're doing now on Man Knows Football as well, and we'll speak soon, brother.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you very much for having me on, Terry.
All the best, bro. Take care, man. Thank you. Cheers, mate. Thank you. David's here with us now on the show. Normally we do panels, but you know what? Tonight I didn't even arrange one. I thought I was going to do calls tonight. Mix it up a little bit. Keep it fresh, as they say. David's here. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. Nice 2-0 win. But I need apologies because, Terry, I'm not sure if you remember at the start of the season when we signed Lukaku, and I was very, very, very marginalised for this opinion, but I said we shouldn't sign Lukaku. We should have just waited, and we should have just stuck with Havertz and Werner and just let it simmer for an extra season, just because I didn't feel like he was the right guy. And I didn't think the 100 mil was worth it. And you know what the thing is? Recently, over the past couple of days, I've been watching the old videos. I had a gal telling me that Lukaku's better than Haaland. And you all,
yeah.
And you all sat, no, the best part is all of you sat there and looked at me and went, "Yeah, he's right. What are you talking about, David?" All of you.
Did I say that?
You said no. To be fair, you said. Haaland is better than Lukaku. I will give you that. You got away with it.
I thought Lukaku would be much better than this back at Chelsea. But what I think I'd never do is say he's better than Haaland. I knew I didn't say that.
No, there was a whole. He said it, and everyone around me was like, "Yeah." And I was just there looking like, these people are crazy. But Havertz tonight, performed really well. Ironically, scored his 8th touch. That's just football. That is just football. Like it is. That's just how it is. It is quite funny. But yeah, I think the team just cohesively just works a lot better. Like everyone's moving a bit more, and like when he like gets the ball pinged into him, it's not like skipping away and he's got to run after it. And like even if he's not getting the ball, he like drops deep and goes and finds it. That's what you want from your striker. If he's not involved in the play, you just got to drop back. Like on Match of the Day, they were there like, oh, you see, he's here. They could play the ball here and he would run into it. And it's like, yeah, but that ball's not always on. So you've got to find other ways to get involved. And that's what you want from your £100 million striker. But he wasn't doing it.
Well, in the build up to the game tonight, I was listening to. I don't listen to a lot of build up stuff really, because I'm normally working and getting myself ready. But Joe Cole was basically like Rio was kind of defending Lukaku a bit, saying, "Well, Lukaku's in that place, the ball's got to come in." But Joe Cole's like, he is. But as an attacker, what you've got to do is put yourself into the right. I look at it this way: if a winger's doing the right thing and whipping balls in, and no one's there, there's an element of I just wanted to keep doing that. I remember having this argument with Louis from 100% Chelsea, where he was like, "What's the point of crossing the ball into areas where nobody is?" And I'm like, but if that's where. If you've worked on this on your play in training and there's meant to be a player running in at that point to tap the ball in, you keep doing your job. It should be the attackers that you're moaning at for not being in that position. What I see with Lukaku, it's almost like, okay, the cross didn't come in the 2 times you wanted it to. The 3rd attempt, he hasn't bothered to make the run because like, well, why should I bother? It should almost be a case of make that run every single time, irrespective of how you're thinking or feeling, and the ball will eventually come to you. And I just think there's a little bit of the build-up play. But tonight, I didn't feel like any of that was missing. And you really should have won by more goals tonight. I've been watching like the highlights. I've been sitting here talking. And there was that moment where Kai Havertz tried to square the ball back across to Alonso and it just got cut out by a defender. There was 2 or 3 of those moments where on paper, they won't count as chances created, but actually you were in and you were so much better without him. And it was like that run of games you played when he was injured earlier on in the season. You just looked better. Now, I think you need more in your attack. I think the likes of Pulisic, because of injuries, Ziyech has started to get better. Hudson-Odoi doesn't have a great level of output. It's almost maybe those are the positions that need replacing. Maybe you need a bit more of 1 or 2 more prolific players that are going to put the ball in the back of the net. But in terms of the overall play, you look much better. The other question going on tonight, big polls running everywhere. 73% of our poll think Thiago Silva is a better defender than Van Dijk. And on Twitter right now, 73%. I mean, this is actually mad when you look at these numbers here over on Twitter. 1,500 votes already. 73%. 73% have said Silva is better than VVD. Where do you stand on this debate, David?
I think career-wise, I don't think it's a conversation. And this season, I don't think it's a conversation either. I think both in those instances, Thiago Silva's been better. I think over like the past 5 years, you'd say VVD, but for me overall, Thiago Silva. If I'm looking at it, when I consider everything that I want, I'm gonna take Thiago Silva mainly because VVD's just coming back from injury, and I know some Liverpool fans are like, no, he's back to his best. He's really not. Like the amount of chances Liverpool concede, and there are times when he's just not marking anyone, and they'll all sit there and be like, yeah, but Klopp's system says that he's not meant to mark anybody. That's not true. Like, you're a defender. If there's a free man in front of you, you're meant you go defend him. It's that simple. I'd say give it another 2 seasons when Thiago was 39. If he's still playing, obviously then it's going to switch back to VVD. I think it's really close, Percy. I think it's like this.
Mate, man's got 29 titles to his name, and that doesn't include international stuff. 29 titles. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 league titles. He's a Champions League winner. He's won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 19 domestic trophies. Like I said, I think what goes against him is the fact that he spent 8 years, I think it was, in France. And I've said this before. So, when at the start of the season where I was like, this season could define the argument between Messi and Ronaldo. The irony is they've both been shocking, really. But the point is, what you do in League R, and I know sometimes people try and twist this when someone's favorite potential GOAT is on the up and coming like an Mbappe, but what you do in France no one cares about. It's why I saw a space today. Why is Neymar disrespected? I felt like going in there saying, because everyone said he was going to be the new Dino, but he's plying his trade in the 5th or 6th hardest league in Europe. It's ridiculous. You have to be doing it in one of the top 2 or 3 for anybody at that time, for anybody to be respecting you. And that's why I think with Silva, I'm not disappointed in him, because he obviously had a good time there. But if those 8 years he'd have been at the best club in Italy, or the best club in Spain, or the best club in England, I think we'd be talking right now about a player that we'd be putting on levels with Rios, with Ferdinands, with all, with Yap Stams, Chiellini's, like some of the best centre backs of the last 20 odd years. I think he's that good as a player, and he's sensational. He really is. And tonight, I know it's only against Lille, some will say, but I've watched him do it all season. He doesn't put a foot wrong, and he's a pensioner. Do you know what I mean?
He's reading the game so well. He's just reading it so well. Like, he's always in the right position. So like his lack of, well, his age doesn't really show, because you can be 37 years old, but if every time I receive the ball, you're literally on my foot, I can't do anything. Like, it doesn't matter how old you are, like, you're not getting around him. So yeah, no, he's class. He's absolutely class. He's essential. I mean, I think he has an argument to be captain, because I mean, Cesar's Azpilicueta's leaving. He definitely has the argument to be captain, because he's the most senior player in that squad. He's won the most, and I'd say he's our best defender, definitely.
Yeah, it's sensational. Jem here says Silva is world class, best defender in the world. I like to see Van Dijk play at his age, and that's also, again, I have to be consistent here. When I speak about greatest ever Premier League players, I talk about longevity. And when you're still doing it at the highest level in your late 30s, it just shows how good you are. And, fitness-wise, what he's had to do to keep himself this fit at 37, his whole career, that means he's lived, boxers call it living the life. You know what I mean? Isn't like blowing up and putting weight on in the off season, smoking and doing the wrong thing and everything else. But yeah, class, mate. Comfortable that you're through now?
Yeah. There's no way they're scoring 3 and we don't score at least 1 or 2. So
yeah, I hear you on that, mate. David, I appreciate you coming on and having your say. I just want to say to the audience, a big thank you to all of you. Join my the Football Terrace Champions League Challenge tonight. It's free to enter. All the link to join and the password to join are in the description below. Enter for free, and you can win a share of £100 if your fantasy team tomorrow comes top of the league, essentially. So go check that out at the end of the stream. Thank you to Fan Team, David, and all the other callers tonight. Thank you. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless.